Right, everybody, I'm going to be talking about what to expect from Ruben Amorim. Obviously, he's been officially confirmed as the United manager. We're talking about what we're likely to be excited about, a few things to be concerned about, and giving you an overall consensus. Now, a lot of topic videos are going on. I'm going to get straight into the video now. So I'm going to talk about maybe 6, 7, 8 things to be excited about and a couple of things to be concerned about. Now, I've taken this bit of segment from United People's TV, so shout out to Sam. Big sort of fan of his channel, and yeah, I've taken these points from there, so go subscribe to him and subscribe to me as well. But let's get straight into it. So what am I most excited about, or what I'm most excited about Ruben Amorim? Now, the first thing to be most excited about is his communication skills. You can see in the build up to him joining Manchester United, he was very clear with the media. He said when everything was announced, it would be announced, he'd have a clear discussion with them. He's had a clear discussion with his players, and that's something that has been an issue at United before. Ten Hag not really communicating to the players, not really communicating to the fans, to the media, and that's something Amorim will definitely change. Now, the second one is obviously the tactics. 3-4-3 formation, wing backs or wingers playing in that wing back position, 2 inside forwards, a double pivot. There's a lot to be excited about, but also a lot of change. And you see what he does at Sporting. It's very organised, very clear what each player's got to do, a very structured role, very focused on high pressing, and a very excited sort of thing. I think I'm very happy with that. I think he will have a big impact on this team. As I said, his tactics are relatively different to what Ten Hag has done and other previous managers have done. It's a untraditional sort of formation, if you like it, 3-4-3 formation, using 3 at the back, something that hasn't really been seen in the Prem for a long time. Obviously, Pep kind of does it. I remember Tuchel at Chelsea did it. So it isn't a rare formation, but it's certainly one that you're not used to seeing. But listen, maybe that could be something that will work at Manchester United, the change of formation. Now, a more organised press. And Sam said, please, double please. Like, the press at United has been an issue. Whether that be players not really communicating when they're pressing, Bruno doing ridiculous runs when he shouldn't be, a big gap between attack and midfield. And that's something that obviously Amorim is mainly focused on, that high pressing. The organised pressing, though, is something that is needed. We need to, with the press, you have to, I think Ranić said it, you have to press as a team. It's like, he described it as like when you're pregnant, you can't be half pregnant, you're either full pregnant or not. Like, you really got to go for the press when you do press. We have seen at times in the Ten Hag, I think it was Aston Villa away in that first 20 minutes where we really bombarded them. But again, is it something that the players have? It'd be something that's trained into them, because it's a very intense, very quick, very organised sort of thing. But I'm sure the press will work. I think the players definitely have it. I just think the instructions and what we're telling them to do is totally different from what they are actually doing. I think attacking football, listen, Sporting, they scored a lot of goals. They scored 4 against Man City only a couple of weeks ago. They do like to score goals. They have the 2 inside forwards, as I said, wing backs. And that's something United have struggled to do, ultimately, score goals. Whether that be Rashford, we've tried Xerxes, we tried even Bruno up there, Garnacho obviously chipped in with a few goals, Ahmad started to find his feet, Rashford. Amorim's going to like the attacking department at United. We've got youth, experienced, flair, pace. Like, it's something he's going to like a lot, but it's all about, can he get that tune out of that attacking threat that really has struggled a lot, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's another one. Obviously, in change of formation, I talked about 3-4-3, intense, clear playing style. As I said, under Amorim, each player knows what they're doing. You've seen it against Man City. Yes, it was off at times, but there's a clear identity of the way that he wants to play. And that's something, again, you compare it to the old regime under Ten Hag, we had no idea what we were getting from game to game. Is it going to be Bruno up front? Is Bruno going to drop back? What formation? Where the players are going to play? Which players are going to play? Like, there was a real uncertainty of what we're going to do, and a clear playing style will massively help. Listen, if Amorim doesn't have a successful first season, which isn't guaranteed, as long as we see a clear pattern of play, a clear playing style, I wouldn't mind it, because at least there's a vision. Yes, obviously you want trophies to come in with that, but again, it was like Kobe Mainoo said in one of his interviews. I think he said the trophies obviously is a success, but it kind of shadowed the successful season, and ultimately that is correct. United didn't have a successful season last season. It was one of our worst seasons in a long time. Yes, we won an FA Cup trophy, but it didn't really help us in that much aspect. So it's all about that, and really, can we get that intensity and playing style over a consistent amount of time to really have an impact. Now, as I said, intensity, man management, he's a very good manager. Man management, lots of players at Spawn have talked about it, that sort of communication. Pitch side presence, we see on the pitch, he's very, very calm, he's very composed. But again, he's someone who I think will like to motivate his players and really get the best out of them. And I genuinely can't wait till the Amorim era starts at Manchester United. His first press conference, which we obviously will react to on this channel. So like, subscribe and put your notifications on. His first post-match press conference, his first team selection, his first result, his first couple of games. Again, he's got Arsenal in his first couple of games. It's going to be very, very tough. So I'm hoping he can really get a tune out of these players. Obviously, charisma he's got as well. Now, there's obviously, with everything, there's things to be concerned about as well. Obviously, there is. Now, the first thing to probably be concerned about is, will the players actually be able to adapt to Amorim's system? He plays a 3-4-3. It's very intense. It's very fast-paced. It's very different to the way that United are playing. A lot of the players at United haven't been putting in that 100% effort that we've been used to seeing. And will the sort of players be willing to adapt? For example, Delo playing that right wing back system, which I think he will. Back three, goalkeeper, different instruction. I'm sure they will be able to. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience. And that's something that we need under Amorim. We need patience. It might not work. We might not see the scintillating football in this first game. And even if we do, you still got to give it time. It's a process. It's a vision. And ultimately, that must be something that United are hoping for. But yeah, will they be able to adapt to his system, because it is relatively different? Coping with the pressure of being Manchester United manager. Listen, we've had a lot of good managers that haven't been able to get the results, and I've struggled at Manchester United. Again, he knows how big the club is. I think everyone knows how big the club is from an outside perspective. It's going to be tough for him. As I said, there's no guarantee that this is a success. It's a big risk for him to take, but it's a decision he's had to make. Will he be able to cope with the pressure? I'm sure he will do. He seems like that sort of guy who's relishing the sort of issues and relishing the kind of challenge. That's very, very good. Coping with the pressure, that is a big one. Now, the left-back situation. Now, that's only one position, but it's a very key position. United have struggled with the left-back situation. I think that massively has had a part to play on Ten Hag's sort of system. It's United's fault we didn't really go out and get one when we needed one. Now we've got Shaw and Malacia coming back. Delo can play there. Shaw can play there. Martinez definitely can play out there. Whether Amorim will play maybe Garnacho, Ahmad. People talked about Rashford, Anthony. Like every sort of player has been talked about in that position. We do need the left back though. And yes, Shaw and Malacia are coming back, but can you rely on them? No. And I do think we need one. Yes, Mazraoui's done a good job out there, and Delo's had some good games, and Martinez has as well. But ultimately, that left back is absolutely key, and there's definitely players out there now. Players' mentalities versus the intensity of Amorim. Amorim's very intense. He talked about he wants players who can play the intensity. He wants players with the optimum sort of ability. Listen, I think this sort of limits out certain players staying beyond this summer who can play that intensity. I think Casemiro and Eriksen definitely in that midfield will probably be axed out of Manchester United just based on the fact they can't play that intense football. Will they be able to kind of adapt? Because that's something they must change. And I'm sure he's bringing in a sports scientist to probably help with these sorts of issues, because the mentality of some of these players at Manchester United is weak. They talk about it, but they don't really deliver on the pitch. I'm hoping that's something Amorim can change. The biggest one for me is probably the lack of funds for January. Now, United have already talked about transfer veto, not having much, only loans in January. Listen, Amorim will obviously assess the squad and really think about what he will have to deal with the squad. But in terms of immediate positions that we need in the January transfer window, I think an elite striker definitely will be one. A left back, and maybe a winger. I think they would be the three that we would go for. And will United be able to do something, see what funds we can really have? Obviously, it'd be another big transfer window next season for Manchester United. You look at the players like Ahmad, his contract running out. Lindelof, Maguire, Johnny Evans. We need a lot of centre-backs. Midfield, Eriksen. What do we do with Casemiro? So it's going to be a big overhaul for Manchester United. I'm excited nonetheless, but let's see what happens with that. The last two things, players' power. Again, I've talked about that. Players thinking they're bigger than the club. You can't let that happen. And ultimately, the expectations. Will Amorim be able to deal with the expectations at Manchester United? Whether that be... Listen, there's a lot of expectations. People are going to expect him to get top 4 in his first season. It may not happen. People are going to expect him to win his games. Ultimately, we have to just see what Amorim can do. in the time at being at Manchester United. But listen, there have been what to expect from Amorim. I've talked about things to be concerned about, things to be excited about. But ultimately, let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks to, I did get it from United People's TV, so shout out to Sam. I did kind of nab it from there, but I thought it was good to kind of talk about at Manchester United. But listen, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, let's see what happens going forward. Peace.